it's time to get everything that I animated in Blender for the shooting fist animation into Unreal Engine imported, and let's get everything retargeted from the third person character to a mannequin from Blender, and everything, the couple of animations I made on the mannequin retargeted to the third person character's mannequin, just for the sake of showing that it works. So to start with, let's go to the mannequin character mesh folder. I'm going to import to game my mannequin which is missing a hand, and we're going to want to clear that off so it doesn't have a skeleton. Import normals, mic space, no materials, no textures. Those are the settings that I'm going to go with. So I'll import that. Now I already did this already in a different project. I just thought I'd whip this all up in the third person project, in a fresh third person project, just to show the import and retarget stage, because I've had a fair few people ask me over maybe the past month or two. They sort of message me and email me asking me about how I retarget stuff to the mannequin. So this is how I do it. It's pretty straightforward, really. We're going to open up our mannequin that we've just got. Select humanoid rig. Yeah, pretty straightforward. All of these bones should line up straight away, particularly if you're using UE4 tools and have everything named correctly in the right places. Click Show Advanced, you can go through. You can even add in extra bones to your rig if you want to. And so yeah, select this to humanoid and save. Then we're also going to want to do the same thing to this mannequin, the stock mannequin that doesn't actually have it set up as standard. Let's save that. And we don't need to go back into him. I don't think we need to go back into him. So we can close him. Then we're going to go to the animations. So this is the start. This is the animations that come with the third person template. Instead of doing them all individually, I'm just going to right click on the anim blueprint, duplicate anim blueprints and retarget. Select our skeleton that we just imported. Let's give it a suffix. Let's call it underscore retarget, and that is that. And that's all of that lot retargeted, but it's not retargeted perfectly. So if we just open up the idle animation there, you see the upper arm is offset. That's actually the upper arm twist moving itself down on its like x-axis by like exactly 12 or 13 or something weird. It's a funny little number. I figured it out once before when I first came across this. Also the foot bones, the toe bones there aren't looking too happy either. So to fix that, we'll go to our no hand skeleton here in the skeleton tree. Under options, click show retargeting options. Now we're going to, I'd like to right click. We could just click on each bone that we want to do. So I already did a short video showing the fix for the upper arm twist, setting it to skeleton and how that works, but I prefer to recursively set the translation retargeting to skeleton for everything from the root. Then the pelvis wants to be animation, the root wants to be animation, and if you're using these IK bones, which I don't actually recommend doing, then they're probably going to want to either be animation, animation scale, or animation relative. So yeah, that's the animation for the upper arm fixed and the toes fixed. The pelvis, the root, and the IK bones probably want to be set to animation, but everything else can be skeletal and it should go across fine. So now, save all. We have an animation blueprint retargeted to our mesh and rig from Blender. It's all working fine and dandy, just like the other UE4 mannequin would be. We can even go into the mesh for our mannequin, no hand L, and we can simply set the materials like so. This is why we didn't import them, because we don't need to. We can just set them up like that. So now we have an identical mannequin that's missing a hand, which is what I want it to. It's supposed to be missing its hand. We have an animation blueprint for it, the mesh with its materials on, all of the animations of the third person character set up and ready to go on this imported rig that looks just like the original mannequin now, except for the missing hand that I wanted. So let's import my animations, attach and fire there. This isn't going to be to the UE4 mannequin skeleton, it's going to be to my skeleton, at least to begin with. And the same score as with everything else, I think. Yep. And I'll click import all. Don't need to change those settings. And now on my skeleton we have these two animations I made. This is what they look like, this is what they're supposed to look like. Nothing wrong with them at all. So now we should be able to, well, I better save just in case. Now we can retarget these, duplicate and retarget them to the UE4 mannequin skeleton. Let's just give it underscore target and retarget them. And they should appear in the content folder along with everything else. And these are now working perfectly on the original skeleton there. So on the original one, SK mannequin. Yeah, with all the original mannequin animations, and we could set them up in the original mannequin blueprint now as well if we wanted to. Oops. Not in there though. Just do that quickly. Where's me anim graph? Yeah, let's see. So we can just plonk those in there, and these would work just like any other animation, as you can see. And there we go. That is the import and retargeting of Mr. Mannequin. We can get everything to go from our mannequin from Blender onto the UE4 mannequin, and we can get everything from the UE4 mannequin onto our mannequin from Blender.